Question here was about Jacb Zuma being a white hat, Jacb Zuma being a positive influence. If you know and you've done your research, it's quite interesting how you look at how a lot of foreign agents are employed by the CIA, and it's very interesting to look back. If you look at people who have been on the workbook of certain agencies around the world, CIA being the biggest one. Anyway, I won't go on about that. I'll go on about Jacb Zuma. Is he going to be a positive influence for South Africa? Is he really, truly a shining star? Okay, I can hear what my entourage is saying. Okay, let me go into my heart. Jacb Zuma. Get all that kind of, get into neutrality. Get into neutrality. Okay, so we're talking about Jacb Zuma. Okay, he's a force of justice, come here to bring justice. There's part of me that goes, or to evade justice, but I don't think so. I'm getting my prejudice out of the way. I always say to people doing this kind of stuff, you've got to get your prejudice out of the way, and which I just did when I was shuffling then. So the significator is justice. He's seeking justice, We're talking about Jacb Zuma being a positive force, so could he be bringing justice, calling a recount? His brand new party did brilliantly in the elections. Okay, is this a bridge or an obstacle? Definitely a bridge. Having Aphrodite with the Ace of Cups and the uprush of his popularity, his love, his he's a guy of 80. I always find it fascinating, him and Biden, they're 80s. Why don't they just go and retire and go to some lovely island and drink, what are they, margaritas and read a great book or something? I don't know. They all want to keep going, don't they? Hard to let go. It's hard to let go of the power. This is what I mean about the old guard going. When the old guard has gone and there's a whole new fresh energy without all the baggage that they've carried all their life. The overarching, oh look at that, the overarching card, the lovers, making relationships, choosing the right people. Remember, this card is Paris, and he gets told he has to judge a beauty contest. Can you imagine anything so hideous about having to choose between Hera, Aphrodite and Atalanta, which is like Athena. Paris is young, and his loins, the sap rises in his loins. He doesn't care about Hera's offer of being a world leader. He doesn't care about Atalanta's offer of being a great warrior. All he falls for is when Aphrodite opens her robes. But the idea here, so the idea in this deck is like the naivety, a naivety of choosing, letting certain instincts choose. And that's exactly what I'm saying about getting away from ego and the past and the baggage and everything that's back here. And in the Rider-Waite, obviously the lovers are about relating, bringing about relationships that work, bringing everything great to relationships in order to bring out the best of a good relationship. What makes a good relationship? Love, respect, honesty, openness, and communication. I always think the basis of any great relationship is good communication, being able to sit down and maturely discuss any things that are going on. So that looks quite good so far for Jacb Zuma. Oh, look at this. What's at the base of it? He comes offering love. The Knight of Cups. He comes riding on his white charger. People do see Jacb Zuma a bit like that. He's got a massive following. He's very popular. My friend told me yesterday he's a very charismatic guy. She's met him a couple of times, and she said he's a very, very nice guy. And I said, yeah, and that's what happens in politics. They choose nice guys with a great smile and warmth and charisma, like Obama, and then they can get away with anything because they smile and laugh and giggle their way through a few things and, dismiss and wave off all the stuff that they're doing or they're not doing. So it's a bit dangerous in a way. What's in the past? Oh God, that's so perfect, isn't it? The the Five of Pentacles, having to leave, having to sneak off in the night because, I mean, it can be, Five of Pentacles is often like financial poverty, not as if Jacb Zuma has financial poverty because he embezzled or came about lots of money. Who's his donor, who sponsors the party previously, and, you know, whoever now. But it's not just financial poverty, it can be spiritual poverty, it can be poverty of emotion, it can be just feeling down, you know, just empty, feeling lack. That is the word for the Five of Pentacles, lack. And he has been through that with all the court cases and everything that's been looming over him the past few years. Look at this. Can you believe it? What's in the future? I can't believe this card keeps coming up all the time. It's like, wow, another change. An inevitable force that has to be faced. The end of a cycle. It's completion. Jacb Zuma in the future is the death card. It's like end of a cycle. Is he going to bring an end of a cycle? Is he just going to, you know, bring this whole... Is he the death card in the previous reading of the coup question? That's amazing. There's definitely... He's you see, what I get when I just kind of, you know, feel what's going on is like, he's backed by something quite powerful. He's got powerful backers. Whether in this country or other countries. But death, you know, maybe it's his end of a cycle. Maybe he's not going to get what he wants. But we're asking about him. Is he a positive force? Is he a white hat? Let me see where he finds himself. Oh no, man, this is mad. This is mad. The Nine of Cups. Now look, when I've done a reading like I just did, I get the cards individually, right? And I put them in all through the pack, so they're completely evenly spaced, and then I obviously shuffle them. I don't just put them back in. And now we have the Death card and the Nine of Cups. He feels in a position of I'm not surprised. You know, his party did so well. It had only been going for a matter of months, I believe, and they came third nationally. Yeah, they did 14%, 14.7% or something nationally. So he's going to be feeling great and like he's got something to celebrate. And, you know, there's an uprush of affection, love, completion after the ups and downs of the journey. So, and yes, I'm sure he did actually start firing a lot of people in the party that were ambitious. And that's the whole kind of thing, isn't it? You know, when people can lift each other up and put people in positions that they're actually good at and they've got experience in, not just because, you know, they're a mate or, you know, they're a cousin or who knows what, which often goes on, doesn't it, in politics. How do other people see him? Oh, this is interesting. You know, in this deck, it's about the Nine of Wands is like Jason is almost back. He's almost home. He can see land. He can see everyone wanting to greet him, but he's got to go through the magical clashing rocks. He's got to steer the Argo, the ship, through the clashing rocks. So just when he thinks he's home and dry, he has to go through the clashing rocks. It's like you've done so much and you're exhausted and you're so tired and you just want to finish, but there's still something you've got to do. And that's interesting because he's contesting the election results. He's kind of, you know, pushing the boundaries. You know, there is all this, as always, in anywhere in the world, there's all this competition and, you know, infighting about whatever. So that's quite interesting. He's, you know, other people see that it's like he's got to go through the clashing rocks yet. There's another initiation journey. Hopes and fears. Oh, okay. Well, I'd say that was a fear. The Hanged Man. But let's remember, the Hanged Man is about seeing things from a different angle. It's about, you know, just kind of, it's about being in stasis, not really being able to do anything. It's about just hold the line, just be, just kind of, I mean, I know this is from that horrible myth where I think is it Prometheus that has to get his liver pecked out every day, and then it heals overnight, and then it starts all over again. An eagle comes and pecks out his liver every day. But the hangman itself, it's that, in stasis, upside down. But the in the Rider-Waite, you have, here you have the sunrise. I would say it's about just stopping and thinking, stopping and being. Obviously Prometheus can't do anything because he's tied to a rock and he has to be there. In the Rider-Waite, there's the Tau Cross, and it's all very fertile. So even though it's a moment of stasis, it's like think. Just take this moment, just kind of look at it from this different point of view. Just see, just kind of be still, and just take it in. So that's, I would say, maybe a fear of just being, it's like stop, freeze frame. Just freeze frame. Don't, and nothing will change, Maybe he wants this recount, this election. Is he here? Is he here to do good? Well, let's get to what's the outcome? Okay. Seven of Swords. So in this card, in this deck, this is, who is this now that comes with the swords? Oh yes, it's Orestes. He's come in, so he's come to kill his mother, and he's coming in the back door. He's sneaking around. He's stolen the swords of the warriors so they can't fight back. I think it's the Seven of Swords is a card of deception. Obviously, sneaking around. You're not going to go in the front door and announce yourself if you've come to kill your mother on the orders of Apollo, are you? You're not going to knock on the front door because you'll just be immediately killed. So he's using his guile. He feels like he's been forced into this situation of being a bit sneaky and deceptive. He's got a job to do. He's, as you probably know if you watch these readings, he's been asked to kill his mother. Apollo says if he doesn't, he'll be cursed, and the Furies say if he does, he'll be cursed. So it's a terrible situation for him. He doesn't want to do it, but he's between a rock and a hard place, and it is like an Eight of Swords type thing. But now he's decided to do it, and he's got to sneak around in disguise, and that is the outcome of Jacb Zuma's card. A card reading. Sneaking around, having to go into the shadows, shady dealings, shady kind of, activities under the moonlight, the moonlight that brings out all that, the fear, the nightmares, which it is in this particular card. It's really pulling on his horror of killing his mother and horror of being cursed by Apollo, and he feels he's got no choice. Wow. So, okay, so Jacb Zuma. Is he a positive force? He's got the potential. He's got the potential to be a very positive force, make good relationships, use his popularity, and use his sense of his sense of being, his confidence, of which he has lots of. And then at the Seven of Swords, it's like a bit of a slippery character. And then this. Okay. Is he a white hat? You know what? With the Seven of Swords as the outcome, I'm like, I don't know about that. But of course, anyone who's working under the radar will be sneaking around like that. So, I'm being a bit indecisive today. It's like under the radar. Is he a white hat? He's very popular, and he's got all that ability. He could be bringing the end of things, the end of a cycle. He is the end of the cycle. I mean, he's 80 for goodness sake. It's kind of, he's at the end of his cycle, isn't he? So, and sometimes people will pull everything down. If they're going down, they'll pull everything down. And he said that when he was being charged with the corruption. He said, if I'm going down, I'm bringing everyone down with me. So, yeah. He's got the ability to really be a good force. Whether he is unfortunately bribable and bought off by the highest bidder, which unfortunately seems a way for many politicians. If he can keep his integrity and keep his eye on the goal. But I find a lot of politicians, they don't keep their eye on the big picture. It's all about what can I get out of it now for myself. He's 80. What else does he need? He's had a great life, hasn't he? So it's his choice, isn't it? Maybe this death card is the death of that, the death of those ways of being and being bought off and just selling yourself to the highest bidder, and that would be a game changer if that happened. If that is the death card, it's like, this has all got to stop. If there's something that wells up in him, like these two cards, these two cards are like being the best, bringing the best. The lovers, the potential of a great relationship with the Ace of Cups. It's possible, it's a potential. And then it's all about choice and free will. So, that Hanged Man is interesting because it's like feeling like he's, kind of bound and not bound, but, kind of, or just kind of not able to do anything. And then the slippery Seven of Swords. Okay, well, that's how it is. And again, leave me some comments and your own insights. I'd be very interested. And again, thank you so much for watching. It's always very interesting. And let's see what happens in the very near future in South Africa and with Jacb Zuma. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.